Okay, so great evening, guys. Thank you so very much for joining us again on another exciting Upgrade Mastery Just for You. Yes, this is the Upgrade Mastery Just for You, and we get to do this every Fridays from 7 p.m. all through to 8 p.m. Hi, thank you for joining. We got to do this every Fridays from 7 p.m. through to 8 p.m. I will basically just get to share our experiences from the week, the learnings we've had, the challenges we've faced, and how we've been able to overcome them. So, thank you so much for being here. I'm super excited to have you join us here today. And like we always say, sharing is caring. So do well to share with your friends, your families, your loved ones, and even your enemies so that they can be part of this conversation today. Today, we're going to be having an amazing conversation. But before we get into that conversation, how are you doing? How was your week? What did you do this week? What were challenges you faced? How are you able to overcome them? Let us know how your week has been. My week has been a lot. When I say a week has been a lot, this week has been a lot, right? From Monday through to today, it has been one activity to the other, and it's still not yet over. There's still other activities this weekend and then on Sunday. So I think I will probably be resting by Monday next. So it's been a stretch for me this week, particularly today. Today I've had activities from technically 7 a.m. till this time. I'm still doing one meeting, one training, one conversation. It's been back to back for me, right? I have stretched myself this period. I have really put in so much effort, so much work, and I really want to take a break and take a rest before we get into the new year. But anyways, it's not about me. This is Upgrade Mastery just for you. So tell us, how have you been? How was your week? What did you get to do this week? What were challenges you faced this week? How are you able to overcome them? If you can put your week in one word, what would that word be? For me, my week in one word could be stretch. There's been a stretch for me this week. Like literally, there's been a stretch for me this week. So tell me how your week has been. I'd like to know in the comments how your week has been. Thank you so much. First time being here. Shout out to you the first time for being here. Great evening. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Tell me, how was your week? How was your week? Tell me. I'd like to know about your week, right? That's why we're here. We get to share our experiences from the week, where we get to learn from each other because we know that iron sharpens iron. So every man sharpens the countenance of his friend. So with what you share from your week, that may just encourage another person to know that, oh, you're not going through the worst of situation, right? So that's why we encourage people that please share your experience from the week. It helps to encourage another person who may be going through similar experience, and what you've shared will just encourage the person to know that you are not alone and this too shall pass, right? So how was your week? What have you been up to this week? Technically, by this time next week would have been done with Christmas. So officially, let me wish you a Merry Christmas, right? Because by this time next week, we'll be in 2020. Yeah, would have been done with Christmas. Yeah, would have been done with Christmas by this time next week. So shout out to you. Merry Christmas to you and your family, right? And Happy New Year in advance. So this is Friday this week. Next week, Friday is Boxing Day. So we'll be unwrapping gifts. Yeah. And that will be our last Upgrade Mastery just for you for 2025. Now, in the whole of 2025, we did 52 different episodes, 52 different topics that we covered in 2025. So, if I were you, I would go back on the channel and just go through the topic. So, if you are going through any situation at all, we may have covered it in one topic or another. So, you can go through it so you can have it. So, technically, we have done 52 different Upgrade Mastery just for you sessions in 2025. And we've also done 52 Upgrade live sessions in 2025. So it's been a lot, guys. It has been a lot. Okay, Legendary 04 says the week is energetic. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, this 2025, we've done 104 sessions in 2025, both for the Upgrade Mastery just for you and the Upgrade Live with Mr. Upgrade. 52 sessions each. You know, there are 52 weeks in a year, and for every Friday For 52 times in 2025, we showed up. Today is the 51st Friday. Next Friday is the 52nd Friday. And God has been faithful. We have been consistently showing up here every Friday. Now, that is a lot, guys. That's a lot of commitment. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of things that have been done, right? And this was 2024. We had 100 sessions. Again, I think we missed out a few sessions in 2024. At the time, I was sick and I couldn't do sessions because I was sick. Like I always say, the only time I will never show up is if I am really indisposed. That one I couldn't do any session because I was hospitalized at that point. But we're still able to cover out. So we missed out only 4 sessions in 2020. We missed out 2 sessions in 2025. 2024, 4 sessions were missing, so we couldn't do 4 sessions. But we did 100 sessions in 2024. But 2025, we didn't miss anyone. God is faithful. We clocked all the sessions in 2025. Umuna, clock it. We clocked all the sessions in 2025, right? And the first session we are doing in 2026, we are starting the new series, Genesis. How many of you remember we talked about this new series coming up in 2026? So this is just to let you know that, yes, we are getting ready for 2026. We're starting the series Genesis in 2026, the first Friday of the year, which is on the 2nd of January. We'll be back here to begin the Upgrade Mastery Just for You. And this time, we're starting the series Genesis. So I want you to anticipate this series. It's going to be fun. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be mind-opening and life-transforming. I look forward to this series. I've been looking forward to this series since October, right? I've been talking about this series since October. So I look forward to it when we begin Genesis. So I can't wait for Genesis to begin in 2026. So this is just a preview of what to expect from us. Now let's get back to today's class. Yeah, let's get back to today's class. So today's class, right? Thank you. Yeah, 2025 was better. Yeah, 2025 was better. Thank you so much. Your week has been energetic. Energy. Oh, shit. Yes, I'm not going to be shouting anymore. I'm going to take it. Yeah, clock it. Umuna, clock it. Yeah, your week has been energetic. Fantastic. Okay. So last week, we had a conversation on making difficult decisions, right? Making difficult decisions. So in case you missed that session, I would encourage you to go back and watch that session because it will help you in your journey, because there are times where you need to make difficult decisions and you must not avoid making those difficult decisions. Yes, they may hurt. Yes, you may feel like you are doing the wrong thing, but they are difficult decisions. And I said in that conversation that if the decisions are easy to make, it's not a difficult decision. If it's easy, if you don't have to lose anything while you make those decisions, it's not a difficult decision. Because difficult decision is actually difficult. And that's why a lot of people don't make difficult decisions. So that's why we had to have that conversation so it can help people to be able to make difficult decisions for their lives and for their journey. Now, today, we have an interesting conversation. This is the penultimate Friday, right? Before we get into the last Friday for the year 2025, right? Today's conversation is about friendship that lasts. How many of you have friendships? How many of you want those friendships to last? Right? Let me see. How many of you have friendship? Those of you watching this right now, if you have friendship, just type in the comment friendship. So I know that you have friendship that lasts. Just type in the comment friendship. So I know that you have friendship that lasts. How many of you have friendships that last? Tell me in the comment. Just type friendship in the comments and we will begin the conversation. If you have friendships, fantastic. Friendship, fantastic. So now, having friendship is one thing, right? Sustaining that friendship is another. Now, making that friendship last is another. Fantastic. I see the friendships. Thank you. So it's important that we get to learn friendship that lasts, right? It's not enough to start up a friendship, but will the friendship actually last? Right? Because a lot of people have started friendship and those friendship have hit the rocks. Those friendship has come to an end. You see, they say in the word friend, you never consider the last three letters, which is end. Let me say that again. In the word friend, you should never consider the last three letters, which is end, which means it's not supposed that the friendship should end. Your friendship is supposed to last. But there are some things that help, things that happen that doesn't make friendship last. So I'm going to start off from there today in this conversation on why friendship don't last before we'll get into the part where I talk about how to build friendship that lasts. Is that okay? I don't think you have questions you want to ask as we're having this conversation. Feel free to ask the questions and we will gladly take the question. So I have discovered, right, over time, there are three reasons why friendship don't last. Follow me closely, right? You know, I like to keep my things very minimalistic. Just three, so that it's easy for you to remember. 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. Easy for you to remember, right? Now, think three reasons why friendship don't last. Now, you may have many other reasons, that's fine. But if you look at these three reasons holistically, all those your other reasons come under these three. I'll say that again. Regardless of your other reasons you have of why friendship don't last, you can put all of those reasons under these three reasons I'm about to share with you. Are we still here? Right? Okay, great. So the first reason why friendship don't last is unforgiveness. So those of you who are writing, please write that down. The first reason why friendship don't last is unforgiveness. Now, as long as you have unforgiveness, that friendship will not last. It will last. Which means that in friendship, there will be hurts. In friendship, there will be conflicts. In friendship, there will be disagreements. In friendship, things will go wrong. But if the people in the friendship are not ready to truly and genuinely forgive each other, that friendship will not last. Are we together? Is this making sense? If people don't truly and genuinely forgive each other, that friendship will not last. So any other thing you think is the reason, this is the real reason. This is the real reason, unforgiveness. As long as there are traits of unforgiveness, that friendship will not last. It won't last. Because unforgiveness is the proof that you are holding on to malice, resentment, hatred, and the likes. So that's why you refuse to forgive. As long as there's unforgiveness, the friendship will not last. So number one, why friendship don't last is unforgiveness. Will people hurt you? Not even people, scratch that. Will your friends hurt you? Yes. Will they knowingly hurt you? Yes. But if there is no true forgiveness, that friendship will not last. Are we still here? Is this making sense? So the first reason why friendship don't last is unforgiveness. The second reason why friendship don't last is selfishness. Selfishness. When the friendship becomes more about self, it's not going to last. Because friendship is supposed to be you being selfless, not selfish. Are you getting this? Friendship should be about you being selfless, not selfish. Now, what it means that you being selfless, it means you are giving yourself into the friendship, and the other person in the friendship is also giving themselves in the friendship. So when you see one-sidedness in friendship, it's because of selfishness. Because the person is always thinking, I want to get, I want to get, I want to get, I don't want to give. That affects friendship and is one of the reasons why friendship don't last, when there is selfishness. How do you know that someone is selfish in a friendship? Very easy. The person is always concerned about themselves. When you're so full of yourself, concerned about yourself, that friendship will die over time due to selfishness. Okay, somebody asked a question. Let me just quickly take this. It says, sir, if you forgive all their nonsense, does that not make the person a fool? No, it doesn't make you a fool. It doesn't make you a fool. Because hey, by the way, have you listened to thoughts? Have you listened to thoughts? We are all fools for what we truly believe. If you believe in the friendship, you will be a fool for the friendship. You're not a fool. Now, look at it. Christ came to die for us. Scripture says, "Herewith is the love of God made manifest unto us, in that when we were yet sinners, Christ died for us." So Christ did not wait for us to change before he died for us. He died for us while we were still sinners. Would that not make it look like Christ was a fool? No, he is not a fool. So you're not a fool when you truly forgive in your friendship. You're not a fool. You just value the friendship enough to not let it die. Because if you keep harboring this, the friendship will die. And then you'll not be able to pinpoint why it died. But this is what I'm telling you now, so you know what killed it. Right? So yeah, you're not a fool if you keep forgiving. You're not a fool. Okay, someone asks, does uncommitment also serve as selfishness? Yes. When people are uncommitted to this friendship, they are selfish. They are only committed to themselves, not to the friendship. Yes. Yes. Are you getting this? So the second reason why friendship don't last is selfishness. When people are selfish, when it's all about me, myself, and I, that's selfishness. When they're all about what is the need for me, that's selfishness. Because friendship is supposed to be give and take, not take. Right? Friendship is not give me like your name is Jimmy. No. Friendship is give and take. Give and take. There must be reciprocity in friendship. The reason why there's no reciprocity is because one person in the friendship is selfish. Are you getting this? So the first reason why friendship don't last is unforgiveness. The second reason why friendship don't last is selfishness. The third reason why friendship don't last is carelessness. Now, I love this third reason because a lot of times people are careless about the friendship. What do we mean when we say somebody is careless about the friendship? The person doesn't care. That's what it means to be careless. The person does not care. If friendship would last, you must put in some level of care. Are you getting it? You must put in some level of care. You must care for the friendship. Otherwise, when you are careless, the friendship will not last. Careless in the sense that, oh, it doesn't matter. I beg you. And no. That's you being careless. Because there's a level of care that must go into friendship for it to last. So these are technically the three basic reasons why friendship don't last. So look at friendship now that I've hit the rocks. You will see these three things I've talked about fully represented. Even your own friendship that may have gone south, look at these three things I just mentioned. You will see that this was the reason why. That the person was unforgiving, that the person was selfish, that the person was careless. You will see these three things I just mentioned in that friendship that have come to an end. Like I told us, in friend, you should never consider the last three letters, which is end. But the reason why friendship end is because of unforgiveness, selfishness, and carelessness. This is why friendship don't last. Now, the reason why we had to start with this is so you have a picture of why it doesn't last before we get to how it can last. Are you getting this? You first know why it doesn't last, then you can now know how to make it last and what you have to do to make it last. Is this making sense? Are you learning something? Okay, great. By the way, do well to share this link with your friends, your family, your loved ones, and even your enemies. Share the link with them, put on your status, put on your story, share with your friends, right? Share with the friends that you have. So at least this will also help to strengthen your friendship. Share on your friend group, right? Share with your friends so they can hear this, because I tell people this all the time. If friends are not growing together, they will soon grow apart. Let me say that again. If friends are not growing together, they will soon grow apart. So share with your friends. So at least you can let them hear for themselves the things that can make your friendship come to an end, the things that can make your friendship not last. Yes, I know that there's friendship for a reason, friendship for a season, friendship for life, right? Friendship for a reason. Okay, because we are in the same department, we are friends. Because we are doing business together, we are friends. The business, the department is why we are friends. That's friendship for a reason. Friendship for a season, because we are in the same university or because we are in the same workplace. That's why we are friends, because we are in the same environment at that time. Friendship for a season. And then there's friendship for life, the type that David and Jonathan had. And even when Jonathan had died, David still said, is there still anyone left in the house of Saul that I may show kindness for Jonathan's sake? That's friendship for life. So even when the other person was dead, the friendship was not dead. Are you getting this? Even when the other person was dead, the friendship was not dead. Friendship for life. Are we getting this? Yes, if friends are not growing together, they will soon grow apart. That's why they say 20 children cannot play together for 20 years, because some are growing, some are not growing. If people are not growing together, they will grow apart. It's just the natural law. It just happens naturally. That's why some of the people that were friends with you in secondary school, they're no longer your friends now with you. You have grown apart. Are you getting this? So for friendship, is either you are growing together or you will soon be growing apart. And you have seen this also happen with people and their friendship. They just don't know what happened. I know what happened. They grew apart. That's what happened. Okay, so before I get into friendship that lasts, let me tell you about red flags and deal breakers in friendship. Now, we already know why friendship don't last. And I told you 3 things why friendship don't last. There's unforgiveness, there's selfishness, and there's carelessness. And let me tell you, red flags and deal breakers in friendship. So when you see these things happening in your friendship, these are red flags. Right? These are red flags. Somebody says, sir, the growing today, is it only applied to physical growth? No. Mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, emotionally, in these 5 areas, you must be growing with your friends, otherwise you grow apart. Now, let me give you an example. Let's say you have a friend who cannot even pray, can't even pray for, let's say, 10 minutes, and you can pray for 1 hour. You see that the friendship will begin to have issues. That's spiritually. You have a friend who cannot even read their Bible. Let's say read a chapter every day, and you can read a whole book of the Bible, and the person can't even read a chapter. You will soon grow apart. Let's say you are emotionally intelligent, and you have a friend who is not emotionally intelligent. You will soon grow apart. Let's say you are growing financially. You are telling your friend, "Oh, I'm saving. I want to make some investment," and he's telling you, "I beg you, now their life they save." You will grow apart. Again, you are growing apart. Let's say you're always going to the gym, doing exercise, and you have a friend who's always trying to talk you down and say that's not important. You will grow apart. There's nothing you can tell me. You will grow apart. So if friends are not growing together, they will soon grow apart. It will happen naturally and effortlessly. Even you yourself will be shocked. You discover that you are no longer on the same wavelength. You're not thinking from the same perspective. Your POV, like Jay-Z will say, your POV is not different. So you grow apart. Okay, somebody says, how do you correct a friend without looking mean? Truth hurts. Let me tell you the fact. Truth hurts. If you are going to tell the truth, sometimes it's going to hurt. Truth hurts, but hurts heal. Are you getting this? The truth will hurt, but the hurt will also heal. Right? So you don't have to look mean. You just have to tell the truth. Right? And you tell the truth with grace. Tell the truth with grace. The scripture says, let your words be full of grace and seasoned with salt, that you edify those that hear it. You tell the truth with grace. Right? Yeah, someone says, I don't think you can be mean to your friend if you are doing the right thing. Exactly. Thank you so much for that. Someone says, because an issue that isn't resolved stays in the heart, that can make friends grow apart. You see what we said earlier, unforgiveness. Are you seeing that? Are you seeing why I said everything you've seen that happen in friendship is tied to these three things: unforgiveness, selfishness, and carelessness. Bring out all the things you have ever seen that have happened in a friendship. We can put those things inside these three umbrellas: unforgiveness, selfishness, and carelessness. Now, what are red flags and deal breakers in friendship? Right? Sometimes I say it's not red flag, it's red wrapper, it's red banner. What are some red flags and deal breakers in relationship? Number one, consistent one-sided effort. When the friendship is one-sided, that's a red flag. That's a red flag. In fact, that's a red banner. That is a deal breaker. It's a red billboard. Thank you so much for that. It's a red billboard. Everybody can see it. Once the friendship is one-sided, it is a deal breaker. That is proof of selfishness. Remember what we said earlier? Selfishness. Once it's one-sided, selfishness in full display, in HD, in 4K, whichever one you want to use. That is selfishness in HD, in 4K. Are you getting this? So that's a deal breaker. That's a red flag. That's a red billboard. Selfishness. Consistent one-sided effort. Take note of the word. Consistent one-sided effort is a deal breaker, is a no-no. Amos 3:3 says, can two work together except they agree? Even Jesus said, if two shall agree as touching anything in prayers, it will be done for them. So there must be agreement. There must be collabo in friendship. So if it's one-sided, it's not collabo. If it's consistent one-sided effort, it is not collabo. That is a deal breaker. That is a real billboard. Someone says, never forgive a friend who betrayed you in your times of need. That's one-sided, consistent effort now. That's the deal breaker. No, forgive so you move on. Trust me, forgive the friend and move on. You can love from afar. You cannot love the friend from afar. Love the friend from afar. The friend does not have to be in your space anymore. You can love them from afar, but you forgive and you move on. Yeah, unforgiveness is not the fruit of the spirit. So you forgive and move on, right? You forgive them and move on. You forgive them and you restrict access, and then you move on. Is that okay? Now, the second deal breaker and the second red flag is repeated disrespect, gossip, or betrayal. Repeated disrespect, gossip, and betrayal. That is a red flag. That is a deal breaker. When you are repeatedly disrespected, when you are repeatedly gossiped, when you are repeatedly betrayed, that is a red flag. That is a deal breaker. If your enemy betray you, it's normal, it's your enemy. But if your friend betray you, that is a deal breaker. That is not normal. That is a deal breaker. That is a red flag. Right? If outsiders gossip you, it's okay. They're outsiders. If your friend gossip you, that is a deal breaker. That is a red flag. If outsiders disrespect you, But when your own friend disrespects you, that is a red flag. That is a deal breaker. Are you getting this? So the second red flag and deal breaker is repeated disrespect, gossip, or betrayal. Are you getting this? Is this making sense? See why you can share this link with your friends so you can let them know that see the thing you are doing. That's what Mr. Upgrade is talking about right now. You are saying you are disrespecting me, but you are saying it's a joke. You know, some friends do that. They disrespect and say it's a joke. It's not that deep. Why are you taking it personal? They are disrespecting you, but they are saying it's not that deep. Why are you taking it personal? It's a joke. Really? It's a joke on me. The joke is on me, right? It's a joke on me. That is disrespect. That is gossip. That is betrayal. And that is a red flag or a red billboard, and that's a deal breaker. You can let the friendship go because of that. Because if they can betray you now, what will they do in your future? If they can betray you now, what will they do in your future? Are you getting it? So the first part I mentioned is number one, consistent one-sided efforts. Number two, repeated disrespect, gossip, or betrayal. Number three, draining negativity without reciprocity. That is also a deal breaker and a red flag. When they are draining you with negativity and they are not giving any form of reciprocity, that too is a red flag. On your friend's birthday, you buy them gifts. On your own birthday, they will suddenly forget. No reciprocity. That's a red flag. You know, people say, oh, they were very busy. Let me tell you this, and I'll tell you for free. Nobody is too busy. It only depends where you are on their priority list. Nobody is too busy. Don't even take it. Don't say, oh, they're don't even make that excuse for them. Don't make people who are busy still make time for their friends. There was a video recently, I think it was last week, of Apostle Joshua Selman who went to one of his friends' birthday. It was even trending on Twitter. As busy as he is, he still made out time to go to the friend's birthday. Nobody is too busy. It just depends on where you are on their priority list. And do not put people as priority that put you as option. I know I used to say, don't do aura for aura, but for friendship, it's a goosey for a goosey. Oh. Somebody is not showing reciprocity, that's a red flag. In friendship, it's a goosey for a goosey. If there's no reciprocity, that is a red flag. That is a deal breaker. Are you getting this? Is this making sense? Yes, oha for oha, a goosey for a goosey. It's as simple as that. Then another thing that is a deal breaker and a red flag, when they are jealous of your success. Remember, I've said this all the time. When people see that you are happy and suddenly they are saying, God, when? Let's say you buy a new phone. Instead of them to be happy you bought a new phone, they are saying, oh, God, when? God, when? I've told you, God, when is low budget envy. Be happy for your friend genuinely. Stop saying, God, when? God did not forget you. It's just not your time. So the one whose time has come, rejoice with that one. Because you see people, they are excited for their success and their friend is envious and jealous. That is a deal breaker. You see, your friend just did something great. So share on your status, you refuse to share. That's the deal breaker. Because it shows that you are not happy for the success. It shows that you're not happy. See, witchcraft is not only when you fly at night. That kind of behavior is witchcraft. When you are jealous of your friend's success, that one is also witchcraft. Your friend is doing birthday, you cannot even post the picture on your status, and you post status, so you post status that day, you say you forgot. That is witchcraft. That is witchcraft. Somebody say, I'm making you rethink your friendship. You have to. This is 2025. But getting to 2026, you cannot continue this kind of friendship that exhibits gutter behavior. You cannot. You cannot continue like that. You just can't. Right? Jealous of your success, that is a red flag. That's a red flag. So my friend Osage Alex just had his EP out, and then some of his friends have not shared on their status. That is a red flag. That is a red flag. They know themselves. That's a red flag. If I have to remind you to share on your status, that's a red flag. Because you'll be happy for me. You'll be happy for him. You should be happy for him, right? That's a red flag if you're not sharing. You may say, oh, it's a little thing. Don't be petty. No. He will be petty. He will be petty. He's the king of pettiness. Because that's a red flag. If you can't even share, that shows that you're not truly excited for the person. Someone say, no, it's not a red flag. Sorry, what flag is it if it's not a red flag? What flag is it? That your friend is making progress or has a certain level of success and you are not proud enough to share it with your own contact. So what flag is that? Is it Burgundy? Since it's not red. Is it Burgundy flag? Since it's not red. Or is it ox blood? Since it's not red. See, when it comes to friendship, we should tell ourselves the truth. Let's not go through the corners. Let's not go into the corners. People that you don't know, you put their post on status. You go to Twitter and screenshot and put on status. You go to Instagram and copy and put on status. Then your own friend is doing something and you say you can't put on status and you say it's not red flag. Come on now, let's tell ourselves the truth. Let's tell ourselves the truth. If you don't post status, it's a different thing. You can post on group chat. You can post on your story. I don't post status. For the past 3 years, I've not posted status. I don't post status. But I still share the work that my friends are doing. I share on my Instagram. I share on my Twitter. I share on my LinkedIn. I share with friends personally. I share on group chats. So don't say, oh, because you don't post status. No, there are other ways you can share it if that person is truly your friend and you're happy with the person or you're happy for the person. Let's tell ourselves the truth. Let's tell ourselves the truth. That's why we're having this conversation now about friendship that lasts, right? Then the next one that is a red flag is inability to support your joy or support your sorrow. Friends that cannot be happy when you are happy, that's a red flag. And friends that cannot be sad when you are sad, that's a red flag. Let's tell ourselves the truth. You are going through a loss. You are receiving condolence and your friend is playing down on it. That's a red flag. That's a red flag. Or you're excited, you just bought a new car or you just moved to a new apartment and your friend is not happy for you. That is a red flag. Like I told you, witchcraft is not only when people play at night. It's not only when people play at night. People manifest witchcraft in broad daylight. That's why scripture talks about the arrow that flies by day, the destruction that wasted in darkness, the pestilence that walketh in noonday. Witchcraft, they fly for daytime, not the only night. Are you getting this? Is this making sense, guys? Are you learning something today? Let me know in the comment. Are you learning something? Is this making sense for you? Okay, somebody says, what if you don't post? I love this. What if you don't post, but you wrote him or her a birthday letter on WhatsApp? Well, that also counts, but come on, celebrate your friend. Figure out ways to celebrate your friend. Posting is the least thing you can do. If somebody is your friend, let people know that that is your friend. Don't hide friendship. Don't hide it. If it's your friend, somebody can be able to say that that person is that person's friend. You know, they said about Jesus that Lazarus was Jesus' friend. Read your Bible, John 11. They said about Jesus, see how he wept because he loved him. So they knew that Lazarus was Jesus' friend. He was not hiding it. Let's stop hiding things and say, okay, I don't want people to, no, now let's tell ourselves the truth. Let's tell ourselves the truth. Somebody says, what if you are being cheerful, trying to cheer your sad friend up? See, there's a time for everything. If your friend is sad, be with them in that sadness. Don't try to cheer them up. They have a reason why they are sad. Your presence with them is enough. Don't try to cheer them up at that time. That's why you need to have emotional intelligence. Don't try to cheer them up at that time. Right? Don't try to cheer them up at that time. No, be there. Just be there for them. Just be there for them. You don't have to say anything. Just be there. Are you getting it? Just be there for them. You don't have to say much. Just be there. Because they are processing what they are going through at that time. So trying to cheer them up will make them think that you are making light of the decision. You are making light of the situation. So don't try to cheer them up. Just be there. Just be there for them. Okay, somebody says right on. Oh, fantastic. It makes sense. Making sense. Fantastic. Okay. Wow, thank you so much for loving our live sessions. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Now, how to build friendship that lasts? You build it with what I call the CARE model. I'm going to explain this because there's a lot to talk about here. CARE model. C-A-R-E. CARE model. Never forget this model in your life. This is how you use to build friendship that lasts. It's called the CARE model. C-A-R-E model. Now, what is the CARE model? The CARE model comprises of the C for consistency, the A for availability, the R for responsibility, and the E for empathy. This is the CARE model. This is how you build and sustain friendship that lasts. You must apply the CARE model. Are you getting this? This is how you build and sustain friendship that lasts. You do it with the CARE model. C-A-R-E. Consistency, availability, responsibility, and empathy. Now, let me explain. Right? Let me explain. I'll say it again. You build friendship that lasts with the CARE model. C-A-R-E model. The CARE model. Now, for CARE model, it's about consistency, availability, responsibility, and empathy. Now, let me explain. For consistency, to build friendship that lasts, you must be a consistent person, which means you are not here today, gone tomorrow. You must be consistent. The reason why some friendships don't last is because the people in the friendship are not consistent. Yeah, that's the CARE. Consistency, availability, responsibility, empathy, CARE. This is the CARE model in friendship. So when somebody is not consistent, it affects the friendship in the sense that you do not know which side of the person will show up tomorrow. Scripture says a friend loves at all times. It didn't say a friend loves at good times. It didn't say a friend loves at bad times. It says a friend loves at all times. This is easy now. What if the person you care for doesn't show the same? Doesn't show you the same? There's no reciprocity now. Have I not told you about that? It's a red flag. It's a red wrapper. It's a red billboard. It's a deal breaker. If there's no reciprocity, then the handwriting on the wall is already there. So, let me continue. Don't worry. Somebody says too much availability leads to unwanted presence. I'm going to explain this for you. Don't get ahead of yourself. I'm going to explain this for you. Thank you so much for this feedback already. Now, yeah, thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. That's why we are doing this. You can ask your questions while we're taking the conversations and all of that, so it just flows. Now, consistency. You are predictable as a friend. So your friend can rely on you. You know you have friends that you cannot rely on because they will disappoint you. Because they are not consistent. As you are right now, you know some friends that if you're in trouble, you will not call them because they will not show up. True or not true? Why? Because they are not consistent. But there are some other friends you know, if you call them, they will come because they are consistent. Are you getting this? Is this making sense? So the first thing in the care model is consistency. Friendship must be consistent. It must be consistent. The next is availability. You can't have friends that are unavailable. They are not the video. I'm unavailable. They know they see me. I'm unavailable. And that's not friendship. You can't have friends that there is no availability. That is not friendship. Friendship demands availability. You must be available. Otherwise, you are not a friend. If you are not available, you are not a friend. In fact, if you are not available, you are already disposable. Clock it, clock it, clock it, clock it, clock it. If you are not available, you are already disposable. Let's say your friend is in the hospital, your friend is sick. You never show up to go and greet your friend in the hospital. You're not available, you're not a friend. You say, oh, you're busy. No, you're not a friend. You're not available, you're not a friend. Your friend is doing the mom's burial, the grandmom's burial, or the relative's burial, and you can't even show up for the burial, you can't even show up for condolence visit. You're not available, you're not a friend. They may not say anything to you, but they're taking notes in their mind mentally. So this person could not show up for me. They're not available. Yeah, if you're not available, you're already disposable. You're already telling me that I can do without you. And let me tell you this, guys, and I'll be honest with you. There are little things you do for people that they know that you are a friend. And there are things you don't do for people and they know you're not a friend. Little things. Little things. There are little things you do and they know that of a truth, this person is my friend. And there are things you don't do, they will know of a truth, this person is not my friend. And that little thing comes from availability. Some people think, oh, it's when you give them money, that's when they are your friend. No, little things like availability. If you text your friend, will it take them forever to reply you, even when they know it's an emergency? They're not available. They are changing status. They are changing status, but yet they cannot reply your message. They are not available. They are not your friends. Availability is part of what you use in building friendship that lasts. Now, there was a song back in the day. Always there when you call, always on time, gave you my all, because you're available. Because you're available. So if your friend is unavailable, that friend is already disposable. So if you want to build friendship that lasts, be ready to be available. Otherwise, that friendship will not last. Are you getting this? Okay. So someone asked a question. If you're not available, you're already disposable. Thank you so much for writing that out. Sir, if being a good friend ever requires you to hurt your friend for their own good, are you still being loyal or you already failed as a friend? Like I said, truth hurts, but hurts heal. Sometimes being a good friend will mean hurting your friend so that they can become better for themselves. You are still a good friend. You are still loyal. See, we must not mix loyalty to keeping quiet when you see wrong. Are you getting this? Don't confuse loyalty to keeping quiet when you see wrong. You have a friend who has a girlfriend, but is chasing other girls, and you're keeping quiet. That's not loyalty. That is stupidity. Because you're not calling out on that gutter behavior. You know his real girlfriend, but you know the other girls that he's going out with, and you say you're a friend. That's not loyalty. That's stupidity because you have refused to call out the gutter behavior. So being a good friend requires that you tell your friend the truth, even if it hurts. Because if you don't tell them, who will? If you don't tell them as their friend, who will? You are the one that sees their blind spot. So if you don't tell them, who will? Who? Someone says, sir, I have a friend that we don't talk all the time, but when we do, we catch up on how life has been. I have one that we are already planning out on business after school is over. Fantastic, right? See, available doesn't mean you talk 247. Let's not also mix that up. Available does not mean you talk 247. Available means when it's time to talk, both of you are available. Are you getting? It's not 247. But when it's time to talk, both of you are available. Somebody says, at what point does loyalty to a friend become a form of moral corruption? And how can we tell the difference? At what point? See, loyalty is not taking the bullshit of another person just because you are loyal. No. Loyalty is calling people out on their bullshit. It's calling people out on their bullshit. Right? Prophet Nathan was loyal to King David, yet he called David out on his bullshit of killing Uriah and marrying Bathsheba. Read it in 2 Samuel chapter 12. It's there. Loyalty is not keeping quiet to nonsense because you are loyal. No, it's calling out the nonsense. That's what makes you loyal. Right? Thank you so much for your question. Okay, so let me go to the next. So in the care model, there is the consistency, there is the availability. The next is responsibility. That's the R, responsibility. In friendship, you must take responsibility. Don't be told what to do. You have sense, you have brain. Take initiative. It's part of responsibility. Your friend is doing a lunch. Your friend is doing something. Take initiative. Don't wait for your friend to tell you, oh, help me share, help me post. No. When it comes to friendship, support should be unsolicited. If your friend has to solicit support from you in friendship, there is question mark in that friendship because they are not taking responsibility. When it comes to friendship, you have ownership mentality to take responsibility for your friend. You take responsibility for your friend. You take initiative. It's part of you taking responsibility. Are you getting this? So you take responsibility for your friends. Responsibility helps you to be intentional about your friend. Are you getting this? It helps you to be intentional about your friend. So you don't just act a blind eye. No, you are intentional about your friend. That's you taking responsibility. That's how you build friendship that lasts. There must be responsibility. If your friend always have to ask you before you do anything, you are not taking responsibility. Are you getting this? The last letter in care is the E, which is empathy. Right? To build friendship that lasts, there must be empathy, which means you must learn to forgive. You must learn to be there for people in their down times and ensure that they get back on their feet again. You see, in the story of the Good Samaritan, that is a clear description of empathy. He picked up the man, he gave him first aid, he put him on his donkey, took him to an innkeeper, made deposits for him, and told the innkeeper, if he exhausts this, I will come again to pay up the difference. That was empathy. And he did not even know the man before. How much more someone that is your friend? The Good Samaritan did what he did for a stranger. How much more when he's your friend? Look at empathy. The man sick of palsy, he had 4 friends. When they came to Jesus, they saw the crowd. Guess what they did? They removed the roof and they laid their friend from the roof. And scripture says, Jesus, seeing their faith, healed their friend. Their friend that was sick did not even have faith. It was the faith of the 4 friends that Jesus saw and healed their friend. That is empathy. They could have left their friend behind and said, oh, he's our friend, but there's nothing we can do. He's already having his issues. No, they were empathetic to ensure that he got his healing. You know what it takes to remove roof? You know what it takes to remove roof? Even if it is made with bamboo and rafter, you know what it takes to remove roof? That's empathy. Being there for people in their worst times to ensure that they get back to their best times. That is empathy. And that's what builds friendship that lasts. Empathy. You saw the same thing with Job and his friends. Job's friends, they were with Job until Job was restored back. The scripture says, when Job prayed for his friend, God restored Job back. Empathy. So this is the CARE model. C-A-R-E model. Consistency, availability, responsibility, and empathy. Right? Somebody says, everyone should listen to this, not just friends. Yes, that's why you're here. Share it with them. Carry it on your head like a town crier. Share it with them. Share it on group chat. Share it on your status. Share it on your story. People need to hear this. These are the things they should be listening to help them. Are you getting this? So this is the CARE model that helps you to build friendship that lasts. Consistency, availability, responsibility, and empathy. Everyone needs to listen to this. I know. And that's why you're here. You will share this to your friends, your family, your loved ones, and even your enemy. You will share. You should share this. It will help them. Now, 3 lessons I want you to remember as we begin to wrap this up, right? We need to wrap this up at about now. But 3 lessons I want you to remember. Number 1, choose the friendship. Choose the friendship. That's the first lesson, which means I choose the friendship. When it's not working, I work it out and not walk out. Because I choose the friendship. Lesson number 1, choose the friendship. Like we say, your friends don't choose you. You choose your friends. So you choose this friendship. So at points where things may not work out, you will work it out, not walk out. I saw your question. I'll go back to it. I want to finish what I'm talking about, and I'll go back to your question. Don't worry, I'll go back to your question. Thank you so much. They weren't ignored. I just want to finish what I'm talking about, and then I'll take your question. Right? So, 3 lessons I want you to remember from this conversation. Number 1, choose the friendship. The reason why people quit on friendship is because they did not choose the friendship. If you choose the friendship, you want to make sure it works. Are you getting this? If you choose the friendship, you want to make sure that it works. So choose the friendship so that when the friendship does not work, you will work it out and not walk out. Are we together? Lesson number 2, sacrifice for the friendship, not sacrifice the friendship. Are you getting this? You sacrifice for the friendship, not sacrifice the friendship. You sacrifice the friendship, that is you being selfish. Instead, you sacrifice for the friendship. Let me tell you a story between David and Jonathan. Jonathan knew that David would be king in his stead. That was Jonathan sacrificing his throne for the friendship. Are you getting this? So, lesson number 2, sacrifice for the friendship, not sacrifice the friendship. Now, the reason why it will be easy for you to sacrifice for the friendship is because you choose the friendship. Are you getting this? The reason why it will be easy for you to sacrifice for the friendship is because you choose the friendship. You cannot sacrifice for what you didn't choose. Is this making sense? You cannot sacrifice for what you didn't choose. So choose the friendship. Lesson number 1. Lesson number 2, sacrifice for the friendship, not sacrifice the friendship. Not sacrifice the friendship. And lesson number 3, evolving in the friendship. Evolving in the friendship. Number 1, choose the friendship. Number 2, sacrifice for the friendship and not sacrifice the friendship. Number 3, evolving in the friendship. Why? Because if friends are not growing together, the friends will be growing apart. Growing together is you evolving in the friendship. If friends are not growing together, the friends will be growing apart. So these are 3 lessons I want you to remember when it comes to friendship that lasts. Remember the care model: consistency, availability, responsibility, and empathy. And then remember the 3 lessons: choose the friendship, sacrifice for the friendship, and not sacrifice the friendship. Number 3, evolving in the friendship. If you are either growing together or you are growing apart. Are you getting this? You are either growing together or you are growing apart. So, guys, this is it. This is our conversation for today. And that conversation is on friendship that lasts. We've told you the 3 reasons why friendship don't last: unforgiveness, selfishness, and carelessness. And we told you the red flags to look out for. And then we told you the care model to practice for friendship that lasts: consistency, availability, responsibility, and empathy. And then we told you the 3 lessons to remember: choose the friendship, sacrifice for the friendship, not sacrifice the friendship, and evolving in the friendship. So, guys, let's take a few questions before we call this a wrap. Thank you so much. I loved it. Thank you. Amazing, amazing. Thank you. So someone asked a question earlier. Let me go back to the question. It says, can friendship exist without inequality, or is asymmetry of power inevitable in all close relationships? What's with the asymmetry of power or inequality? See, when we are friends and we're in a friendship, we should see each other the way we ought to see ourselves, in the sense that we treat each other with respect, we treat each other with dignity. So there's no place for inequality. There's no place for inequality. We treat each other with honor, with respect, with value, with dignity. So there's no place literally for inequality, because this is friendship. David was a shepherd boy. Jonathan was a prince. There was no place for inequality, even though their status did not match. So in friendship, there's no power asymmetry. No, those things don't come in. That's why we are friends. Those things don't come in. Right? Those things don't come in at all. So don't even come there to say, oh, because we are friends, you are the governor, and then I'm not anybody, so we cannot be friends. No. It doesn't really work out that way. Esther was queen. Mordecai was sitting at the gates. But Esther still respected Mordecai, even before Mordecai became promoted to become next to the king. So friendship doesn't look at inequality. Can inequality exist in friendship? That's not friendship. If it exists, that's not friendship. That's not friendship. Because that's why we say you choose your friendship. So if you've chosen the person, you should no longer make the person feel less of themselves or not up to your status. That's not friendship. I don't know if you answered your question, right? Then you asked another question: can betrayal ever be an ethical obligation? Are you Brutus? Are you Brutus that stabbed Caesar? There's no way betrayal can ever be an ethical obligation. There's no way betrayal can ever be anything ethical. Betrayal is betrayal. There's nothing ethical about betrayal. There is nothing ethical about betrayal. So let's not even go there. Betrayal is betrayal. There's nothing ethical about betrayal. Thank you so much for your question. I hope I've answered your question now, sir. Lovely session. Amazing. Thank you for the eye-opening, sir. You're welcome. You shouldn't miss this. We do this every Fridays and every Sundays, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. So you shouldn't miss it, right? And share with your friends. But this is one of the best I've attended. Thank you so much for attending. Wonderful session. 5-star lessons. Thank you. Yes, I answered the question. Thank you so much. Okay. I don't think this question is not complete. So please complete the question before we call this a wrap so I can take it. What if it's in a working or office environment? That's for the equality of power. Yeah, that can happen in work environment. But see, in a work environment, your colleagues are not your friends. Do your work, get paid, go home. I'll say that again. In a work environment, your colleagues are not your friends. Do your work, get paid, go home. They're not your friends. They're not your friends, except they begin to practice what we have taught you now. That's what that makes them your friends. They are just your work colleagues. They are not your friends. They're not your friends. So do your work, get paid, go home. Don't confuse friendship for your work colleagues. It doesn't always mix. Are you getting this? Thank you so much. You've said, thank you. Okay, question. How do you handle a friend that takes advantage of your value for the friendship? I said this to us before. Nobody cuts you off. You always hand them the scissors. In case you've never heard that before, hear it from me for the first time. Nobody cuts you off. You are the one who hand them over the scissors, right? So when your friend begin to take advantage of the value for the friendship, that is what we talked about earlier, selfishness. That is selfishness. That is a gutter behavior. That is a proof that the friendship will not last. It's simple. How do you handle that kind of friend? You bring this to their notice. And if they continue to do it, they are the one who have given you scissors to cut them off. As simple as that. It's as simple as that. You first bring it to their notice. And if they still continue to behave like that, they have given you the right to cut them off. That's how you handle it. So what if your friend is a colleague? Okay, if your friend is a colleague, then the friend that is a colleague should show you the proof of that friendship. The same way you are showing the proof of the friendship. Are you getting it? That's it. So guys, thank you so very much for joining today. Hope you had an amazing time. Hope you learned something. Hope this is something that was worth your while. Like we always say, feel free to share this link with your friends, your family, your loved ones, and even your enemies. Let them know that this is how they can upgrade their lives, just by listening and practicing what they've learned from these conversations. Like we always say, right? The proof of any learning is practice, and the proof of practice is result. So go and practice this that you've learned here in your friendship, and you just be building a friendship that lasts. Once again, I want to say very thank you to all of you who showed up for this conversation today. Thank you very much. We do not take this for granted. We are truly grateful to all of you who joined, and all of you who are going to share this with your friends, your family, your loved ones, and even your enemies. Thank you so much for sharing. Like we always say, there's always more on the upgrade side of life. And that's why we encourage you that you leave good behind so that you can upgrade. And what better way for you to upgrade but to begin to practice what I've told you in the CARE model to build friendship that lasts. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you.